Everybody, welcome to the Warframe Weekly Reset, starting off with, well, this kissing scene. Enjoy or don't, it's really up to you, but we'll get to the Archon hunt and alert loot right after. Yes, but if you've done the Warframe 1999 kissing stuff, there you have it. You have that there. So, it's looking a little dark right now. Oh well, if we go over this week's kind of free loot, we do still have alert event type of stuff, and that is Galleon of Ghouls for the next 14, 15 or so hours. This is just to get the Tomcat blueprint, and in another 2 weeks, you'll have another chance to get it if you missed out on it this week. So, not really a massive deal, but hey, you can still go get that afterwards, so worry not. I think all the Warframe 12-year anniversary stuff is over, so GG on that. But the Archon hunt this week is a blue Archon shard, so if you need a blue Archon shard, Azure Archon shard, for any reason, make sure to go pick it up and farm off the Boreal Archon. So yeah, not actually too bad this week or anything. Continuing on, let's take a look at the Archon shards, or sorry, not Archon shards, the Incarnons over on the circuit. Hey, this week we have Burstin, Nami Solo, Vasto, Soma, Ak, and Brunt. So the only one that I personally enjoy using a ton and love is the Burstin. I think it's very strong, shoots out like fast little heat shots, and I think it's quite enjoyable. Gets a good little damage boost, and it's pretty strong overall. These ones, though, don't get me wrong, Nami Solo Incarnon, you can see it gets 6 stat boosts, so it's a great melee, but it's just an increased melee, so good melee boost for that and the Ak and Brunt, but I will say that the Nami Solo gets like a better boost in general. Soma Incarnon's interesting, it's strong and does good damage, it just turns into like a high multi-shot sort of shotgun. And while I don't use it a ton, it is still very strong, right? There's just so many weapons in Warframe, and I've hit there's too much loot in the game. So yeah, Vasto Incarnon's also pretty strong. If you like shooting, I think it shoots like kind of a ability to rapidly empty an entire magazine in Incarnon form. Yeah, I really can't quite remember how this bad boy shoots, but I don't know if people love it or hate it. Either way, if you like the Vasto, maybe think about it, but I would say this isn't like mandatory or nothing is huge. Burstin favorite, and then maybe Nami Solo if you want a strong melee, Soma if you want a shotgun kinda, but all are decent enough. Just kind of depends what you're looking for, if you have the weapon, etc. and so forth. And if you've gone through all the weeks and done everything there, I think maxed out maybe your Duviri intrinsics, hey, maybe think of grabbing a melee pistol rifle riven mod if you kind of need that, but if not, it's not really much of a big deal. Let's see which Warframes are available to farm on the circuit this week. That's not too bad. Chroma, Atlas, and Mesa. So if I recall correctly, I think some of these can be kind of annoying. Chroma, for example, it's kind of all over the place, right? So you can get Chroma quickly from Duviri. If not, you slowly, I think, acquire Chroma from doing the new Strange and completing Junction. So it's one of those Warframes that you'll eventually just kind of acquire Chroma. So not really the worst farm in the game, IMO, but if you really want Chroma, go for it. I just wouldn't bother with that because Chroma's not like super meta or anything. Now, Mesa can be a little annoying because you have to do all of like Mutilus Alid V, Assassination on Eris, Patient Zero quest, that's what you have to do. You have to collect a lot of nav coordinates, so might recommend doing Mesa if you haven't already picked her up, just because it can be a little bit of a pain in the butt. And she has a very strong Warframe overall, so hey, maybe like give it a thought. Okay, it's pretty good, not bad. Whereas Atlas is kind of another annoying one. You have to do Jordis Precept quest, and then you have to farm Jordis Golem on the Jordis Golem Assassination on Eris. So yeah, also a little annoying. I guess I personally would farm in the order of Mesa, Atlas, and Chroma, but I'm curious what everyone else kind of wants to farm up. And of course, if you already have something farmed, or if you need to farm something from the Helminth, or for the Helminth, I should say, just go for that, right? It's always more dependent like what you need for the week or day or what have you. So yeah, those are the Warframe farms for the circuit this week. Let's check out Nightwave. Because the nice thing about Nightwave is we only have 3 more weeks of Nightwave, everyone, so remember that. And by the way, sorry, I've been so busy playing Claire Obscure Expedition 33. I'm gonna spam upload a lot of boss fights that I play from that game because I'm having a ton of fun. So yeah, if anyone does watch any of those videos, I appreciate it. Thank you for liking or commenting, but I'll get back to more Warframe stuff after, and maybe I'll just chill, make Warframe guides on stream, and you know, I'm not 100% sure, but there's a ton of good games coming out. Either way, get Nightwave done if you can. I just finished getting my Tekrot loot. Not bad. We have the usual weeklies of just like mission, enemies, and Eximus kills. Cool. Free 1 captured Solaris using a Granum Crown. That one's not really too bad. Just run missions and release someone with a Granum Crown if you can, if you have it. Kill the Exploiter Orb. That one's a little annoying because you have to be caught up and actually, I think, pre-fight or unlock the Exploiter Orb and everything, so it might take some time. Complete a sortie, not bad, just time consuming. Complete mobile defense missions, that one's not too bad either. And then just normal, kill drones or Ospreys with your melee weapon. Complete a mission with only secondary weapon equipped. Interact with your Kubro or Kavat. Yeah, no, just daily, usual what have yous. Oh, that's a cool bug. I like that. Credit offerings. Okay, so the white screen of God over here, apparently Nora has been replaced by God. You can see that in the Nightwave credit offerings, we have like pretty cool stuff. I'd grab that for the Convectress, Akajagra. Steel Charge is good melee. Gorgon, not bad. I think there's a Gorgon Incarnon, so think about grabbing that. Tonkor, not too shabby. Combat Reload for the Tigress. Dreamer's Bond Aura. I don't use it, but it's still pretty interesting. Power of 3 for Avara. Grakata Brainstorm. Double Tap Latron. And shrapnel rounds on the Marillac. The TLDR is pick up all the Warframe mods if you can, and if you don't own them, and then pick up the weapon mods as you actually use weapons, or you just want to pick them up. It doesn't really matter a ton, you'll get it eventually, but go from there. These are all of the cosmetics on the appearance tab, right? Like all of the different helmets, the usual stuff, Archiplasmor skin, Graham Solstice. Not too shabby though, nothing like super hype that I can see here, but if you like some of the helmets, remember to grab them. And then the Misk stuff, which is Heat Sword, Heat Dagger, and Jaw Sword, and then, you know, the cosmetic kind of ornaments, Wolf of Saturn 6 glyph, and then the weekly stuff that always stays, which is everything like before Wolf of Saturn 6, so if you need to collect any of these, pick them up. If you don't need to, yeah, it's not really a big deal either way. So, looks like that's all of the loot for Nightwave this week. And I must say, not too bad, not too bad. It is a usual week of Nightwave. It's now kind of the calm times in Warframe. We do have a dev stream on, I think, Saturday, May 10th. And that should be the Warframe PAX East dev stream, if I recall correctly. They're going to be going over the 61st Warframe, some cool stuff like that. I'll tweet out their message later on that they said for everything they're going to go over. But like, yeah, 61st Warframe, new primes like Ureli, I believe, and yeah, stuff like that. Should be fun, should be fun. Now for the 1999 weekly stuff, as you saw, it was kissing week, so yeah, you can just kiss everyone if you're doing, okay, yeah, we'll remember the relationships. I don't want to deal with that. Now, send message chemistry, cool, do that. Tekrot with abilities, Dante, Protea, or any Warframe that you have that likes killing enemies with abilities, you know, Excalibur, any of the Exalted frames, go for it. It's really strong. Run Tekrot, Survival, or Exterminate, and just go buck wild. Kuva or Arcane, Kuva if you don't have Arcanes, and vice versa. Okay, kill the Tekrot. Okay, just go to the Tekrot Survival, that should be easy. Spectre and Companion damage, increased ability strength, or magazine. I would probably choose increased ability strength, but I would also like Spectre and Companion damage boost because Spectres are OP. And then lastly, Arcane or Vosper. Again, grab the Vosper if you need Vosper, and grab the Arcanes if you haven't fully maxed out your Arcanes. If you fully maxed out your Arcanes here, grab the Vosper. Kill 500 enemies. I would choose Tekrot Survival. It's usually just fastest doing that way, but it's up to you. Oh shit, a Riven or a melee arcane adapter. I would probably choose the Riven generally if you like or care about Rivens. If not, the melee arcane adapter. They're not hard to get or anything, but like, I mean, if you need it, then grab it, right? That's how I always go. And Rivens are purely up to you because you might get a shit one that you don't even want to use, right? So, hey, at least you know what you're getting with one. Then you got Letty's birthday. Hey, kill enemies with a melee weapon. Okay, go run a mission and kill everyone with a melee. Again, survival will probably be easiest to just get the kills because it's 150, but it's up to you. And then 3-day resource drop chance booster or Orkin Catalyst. Now this is purely what do you feel like doing? If you need a lot of Orkin Catalyst, it's probably what you'd want to grab, of course. Or if you want to grind out resources ham for 3 days and there's things you really need to grind out, then you'd probably want to go for this. That being said, I want to assume most people would want the Orkin Catalyst blueprint. Luckily, they're easier to get nowadays compared to back in the day, but yeah, it's really up to where you're at in the game, so go from there, everybody. And then you have critical melee hits have a chance to increase attack and movement speed 5% for 10 seconds. Okay. Shoot health or pick them up. Okay. Chance to duplicate. And then magnetic status effects pull in enemies within 1 meter per stack. I guess I'd probably choose hit and split. None of these are hype, but that one's also pretty interesting if you use magnetic here and there. Man, it's up to you. I haven't done these 9.99 and weeklies that much. Now, destroy a tank. That just means you have to run the tank assassination. Do it in non-steel path if you want, or steel path. Really actually doesn't matter. Just a non-steel path for a little faster, I'd say. Topaz Archon Shard or Arcanes, I'd probably choose the Topaz Archon Shard. Okay. Kill 300 enemies with abilities. Same as before, just choose a Warframe that you like that kills enemies with abilities, and do it. And you have another birthday. Now you have Kuva or Forma Blueprint. It's not a huge deal because it's not a built Forma, so you can choose that or the Kuva. Purely up to you. Doesn't matter that much though. Got your back, more Spectre's companion damage, more ability strength, or gas to status to primary and secondary. That one's pretty good. Toxic Shock, nice. If not, power gains. It's up to you though. That's $19.99 this week, and I have to say, it's really not that bad. Not that bad. Either way, let's head on over to Deimos right now so that we can take a look at what the Warframe, I guess, Elite Deep Archimedea is for this week, as well as we'll check out what Bird 3 has for the Archon Shard. Yeah, as I was saying before, I'm just kind of grinding out my nice French RPG, Clair Obscure, so if you do watch any of those boss fight videos, I thank you. And sorry for spamming the channel, but you might remember when I played Black Myth Wukong, I also spammed the channel with Black Myth Wukong videos, because I like to do that when I fight games, so when I play games and fight enemies and bosses. So thank you all for being here. Don't worry, I'll get back to Warframe guides and beginner guides. If there's anything specific you want, I'll probably send out a message in a week when I grind out the rest of my game and then ask anyone. Because I made my leveling video, maybe I'll make some other videos soon, right? Thank you. Now, back to the game. Shiny Treasures, Azure Archon Shard. Whew, okay, another one of these. Yeah, a lot of blue shards this week, both from Bird and the, what was it, Nightwave? No, Archon itself, yeah. So, this week we have Deep Archimedea, Elite Deep Archimedea, Exterminate, Mirror Defense, and Disruption. I honestly always hate running the Mirror Defense here because it's so easy to like goof up. But yeah, not bad. Security system requires twice many boss fiend glyphs. Rogue Colorvins equipped weapons deal 5x damage to Overguard and Necromax. Allies within 4 meters. Okay, that's not too bad. The Exterminate is also slowly regenerate health. Rupturing fragments replace shuffling fragments. Fissure's rip into mission, causing enemies level to go up by 1 every 10 seconds. Destroy them for... Okay, none of those are too terrible. Disruption. Enemies can target and destroy conduits. That one kind of sucks, but it's not game ending. It just sucks. Rogue Arachnids charge attack, pull Warframes, and then enemies deal less damage, but... Take more damage, gain movement speed, attack speed, fire rate. Okay, that's actually not terrible there. We have max energy reduced. That kind of sucks. Gear cannot be used. That one is actually always the worst. Luckily, if you have like people and you don't need the Vosper, you can always tag that off, use gear, and be a god. Lose 2 energy per sec free shooting within 10 meters of you. That one also sucks. Stay at a range. And then shield recharge delay increased by a ton. Okay, so if you can have shield... regen via brief respite and stuff like that. Either way, this is going to be a kind of a tough week, but you can still jump into operator mode, so it makes it a little easier. I'd probably choose Zaku. Either way, that's kind of what we're running with this week with Elite Deep Archimedea. Choose the best loot you got for the situation, but probably still get a little beat up, you know? Probably still get a little beat up. Now let's go take a look, see what Teshin has for Steel Path. If you don't know, Teshin always has loot on one of the relays, well, pretty much any one of the relays, and he just takes the Steel Path essence. So steel essence, if you will. He's very easy, good weekly vendor to swing by, and I never go over Iron Wake and some other stuff, so remember to go check out Iron Wake if you want ribbons and a handful of other like random weekly resets. There's a ton of random things that reset every week in this game that I don't think matter too much, but it's all up to like what you like and personal interpretation, so not really a big deal. Nice. Can I want to buy some of Perm? Nice, dude. Nice. Good memes, good memes. Okay, anyways, let's check out what your boy Teshin has to offer here and actually see what's going on. Teshin Path, Steel Honors. Yeah, nothing really huge at all. Legit just like Kuva this week, so nothing important from Teshin in the slightest. What a letdown. Yeah, that's the thing. Teshin's kind of one of those shitty vendors, if you know what I mean. And that's kind of is what it is. Next up, we have Acrithis on Zariman. You can always just direct fast travel over on to Zariman Dormizone to talk to Acrithis. If you don't know, Acrithis is the Duviri, Warframe Duviri Paradox kind of vendor. And she has actually daily and weekly loot. So she has a lot of just general stuff. If we take a look here, we will see, we browse her wares. She has like some cool stuff that daily resets, right? Like smaller cosmetic type stuff. But her weekly stuff is an Exilus Warframe adapter. Not bad, grab that if you need. Forma Blueprint, which is also not too bad. Orkin Catalyst Blueprint, which is also not too bad if you need some of those. Kuva, Melee, Magus. Okay, so like 2 of these items are pretty good. Catalyst, Exilus. Maybe you need some Arcanes, maybe you don't. Nothing too terrible. Maybe you want some Formas, but that's what Acrithis is running this week. We take a look. You can always just run Duviri here. Let's finally go check out Elite Temporal Archimedea. I cannot speak. English is hard, existence is hard, and that's just kind of how it is. If you don't know, Elite Temporal Archimedea is technically the hardest, latest endgame weekly where you just do high-level shenanigans, and you have to talk to the proto-frame, Kaya Velasco for that. It's Elite Deep Archimedea, right? Oh yeah, I forgot my sticker packs from last week. Yeah, my stickers! Oh, I love stickers. Sticker. Next up, Temporal Archimedea. This is this like newest Elite Deep Archimedea, but it's in Warframe 1999, so it's Temporal Archimedea. Exterminate into Hellscrub Scaldra into an assassination isn't the worst, but the assassination can be a pain. You have casting ability reduces armor for 10 seconds, ammo restored by drops and gears reduced. Ooh, that kind of sucks. Duration of negative status effects is tripled, and gain 1 puncture status effect every time you take damage. Oh, this one's actually an easy weekly because nothing really nerfs us that hard. We do have Exterminate, Hellscrub, Assassination. Nothing is too terrible here. Like, enemies are strong and explode and they leave AoE. Yeah, make sure you do the supply cache, and that's that. Hellscrub Scaldra, also AoE Toxin, so stay to the safe zones. Enemies are a little stronger. Okay. Oh no, allies within slain enemies gain fire rate and ammo reduced efficiency. Unfortunate. Techrunt, Miasmite, swarm out of shadows throughout the mission. Okay, a little bit of a pain in the ass. And then reinforcements on that, so Scaldra then Techrot, annoying. Beyond the wall, hey, Murmur enemies. I was having Murmurs last week too for ETA, as we all were, and it was adorable. I love Murmurs in ETA. And then Scaldra troops drop artillery beacons that summon bombardments. Okay, honestly, this one doesn't seem as hard as EDA, same as last week. I think EDA was just harder, but Elite Temporal Archimedea doesn't seem too hard this week, so yeah, take that what you will. Throw on whichever gear stickers you choose. Either way, everyone, that is this week in Warframe. Let me know what you think, but more importantly, we have the Devstream on Friday, so we'll make sure to spam out Warframe news about Ureli Prime, the 61st Warframe, and stuff like that. Other than that, we're just kind of chilling and waiting for more Warframe stuff, so again, if there's any specific videos you want me to make, let me know. I'll make more videos through my list, and then we'll see what happens. So thank you all for watching, subbing, liking, using Epic Games creator code Pupsker, or checking out the Twitch channel Pupsker or Pupsker VODs on Twitch. Pupsker VODs is the 24/7 channel, and now I'm just streaming on regular Pupsker more regularly, casually. So yeah, let me know what you think, everybody. Thank you. I'll see you next time.